Hi everyone, this is Denise from Creates with Love and welcome to my channel. And I wanted to do a good honest review of this electronic quilling tool. Now I use it for flowers. I don't do a whole lot of quilling, just like general paper quilling, although it's beautiful. But my interests are more in the paper flower categories. And so just a little backstory. I have carpal tunnel, but I also have some arthritis beginning in my right hand. And so what I've noticed is a lot of the quilling tools out on the market are not geared toward my type of desire. My lovely Gary built this for me, which is awesome because it's got the wider handle, right? If you've seen typical quilling tools, a lot of them are narrow, and even some of the DIY ones that people make, they're like based off of a piece of doweling, which again is just too narrow. So this has been my best bud here. Thank you, Gary. And then also I came across this and I thought, hey, how awesome would it be, right? It's based on the same principle. It's got the little split here, right, where you put the start of the flower. But how awesome would it be if I didn't have to do like that, which really hurts my carpal tunnel? So this is what I found out. I thought, well, why not try it? So I bought it. And so let me just show you right off the bat. This is the box that it comes in. Julia, I guess. Not really sure how to say that. It's got some instructions on the back. You can figure it out, but I'll show you. That way you'll have more confidence than I did after reading their instructions. So I'll put that aside. So let's go ahead and start by, when it came out of the box, this handle, whatever you want to call it, strap, was not on it. I just looped it through and hooked it up. I can't see a need for this, honestly, except for maybe needing to hang it up on a pegboard or your Ross cart or something like that. Otherwise, it's like I'm not needing it to do this, but there's an idea. Awesome to hang on your pegboard. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with opening it up and installing its batteries. And then let me just say too, it comes with two different size platforms for smaller type projects and for larger type. So basically you're going by the base for your larger and this is for your smaller. Honestly, I have not needed the small yet, but I guess depending on what you're using it for, you may. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm not really going to need it. So the base actually, well, and first of all, we're going to install the batteries, like I said. So the first thing you do is just take off the base. Now, when I first got it, I thought I was going to be hurting something by pulling it off. So that kind of threw me off, but you literally can just yank it out. It's not the easiest thing, but that is how you get it off. So if you wanted to put the small one on, same thing, you just plop it on, plop it out. Okay? But in order to put the batteries in, you have to first take off the base. Okay, so this is how it comes when you get it in the box. You want to take off the base, set it down. This white part here twists. Okay, so you twist it and then lift it off. Now you've got a hole here and you just pull these two pieces apart. Really super easy. And this is what it looks like inside. So you've got the motor and you've got the placements for your batteries. It does not come with the batteries, so make sure that if you buy this that you have some AAA batteries on hand. I just always have Amazon Basics battery on hand, and that's what I'm going to use today. So as always, the bottom of the battery always goes next to the spring. I'll just plop it in. Again, the bottom of the battery goes against the spring. Make sure it's seated well in the compartment, and then just simply put this case back on. Then you take this plastic piece, you put it back on and twist it down. Okay, it twists off, pull off, put on, twist. Now it's ready to go. So now you want to put whichever plate you're going to use. I'm going to be using the large one today to demonstrate. And you just plop it down. Push the button and it goes. So I don't know if you can see that. got a cute little sound. Let me see if I can put it over in this camera so you can see it maybe a little bit better. I mean, it's kind of fun. You could actually put some curling ribbon in here and have fun with your cat. Just saying, it doubles as a cat toy. And I have proof because my cat did it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate on how we're going to use this and the benefits that I found, but also some disadvantages that I think you should be aware of if you want to purchase this. Now, for my situation, I love it. Okay, and it's going to be based on your specific needs. So these are just some examples of some flowers that I tested out using it. This one is a beautiful rolled up rose, and it was not strong enough to handle the rose. This is a large size rose, right? Kind of large. And the weight, plus it was a heavyweight paper, and it just couldn't handle this type of project. Now, this was a lighter weight paper, lighter weight, or however you say it. And basically, you're probably familiar with this type of paper where it's printed on one side and it's white on the other. This is very lightweight cardstock that I use for scrapbooking. And then I just simply took some Tim Holtz Distress ink and colored the white part pink. So there's a tip for you if you didn't know you could do that to your, white backed paper. But it makes kind of a pretty little rose here. But my point is, it did this kind of like I could do it, but I had to help it through. Okay, so it's still not really user friendly for this type of flower. Now, when it comes to these flowers, it just whipped it out really easily. This is a Gerbera daisy, one of my favorite flowers. And in fact, these are for a project that I'm going to be doing today because I want to use these to help fill my fall tier tray in my dining room. And I want these in different colors. It makes it really pretty to put on your table. Anyway, and I love these because you can do the center one color and the outside another color. In fact, I'm giving you these free files today for both of these design flowers. So be sure to check out my blog if you want the pattern to these two types of flowers. The rolled rose and the Gerbera daisy flower are going to be free in my resource library. Anyway, so let's go ahead and test this out. Okay, I want to show you how to use it in case you've never used a quilling tool number one or an electronic one. I'm going to put this whole thing aside. So what I did, when you get this file, if you decide to choose it, it comes in one color. In fact, this will kind of help display it. It comes as one file like this, okay, without the yellow. Pretend the yellow is not there. So this is how it comes. What I did was I put it in Design Space and I sliced this part off and created one in yellow. Okay, and then I saved this one. So that way your center of your flower, like these here, are going to be different than your outside petals. Another way you can do it to get a two-tone look is to put the one piece on top of the one. So like here's an orange one that I cut out, and then I just glued that yellow piece on top. Okay, so just as an example, but see, this makes it heavier, right? This part's going to make it heavier when you double up your paper. And this right here is just Cricut paper. Okay, so it's not that super heavy. Okay, so I'm going to take my quilling tool here, and I'm just going to simply, again, it's got a slit, right? You can see it, and you can stick your fingernail in it. That's how you know where it's at. So put the end that you want to start with in the slit, and then just kind of hold your finger there lightly. The harder you push your finger, the more you're going to make your battery work hard. So try to do it kind of lightly, just enough so it won't flip off. And just kind of release your finger a little bit and let the motor do its job. See how quick that wanted to go? Like, it wants to work hard for you, so be careful. again, it's just a motion of being careful not to press too hard, otherwise you'll defeat the motor's purpose. So everything, I think what I learned is that the more I did it, the better feel I got for it. And then of course I've only tested it on these two flower patterns. It might be different with a totally different pattern. Okay, but you can see it wants to work hard for you. Like it seriously just wants to roll it up fast. So I love it for that, for my wrist. This is my best friend right now for rolling flowers because it really helps. Not only does it help ergonomically, but it helps also with the time, right? It didn't take any time at all to just roll up that flower. And then you just pull it out, and then just how you want your flower to be, looser or tighter. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this little tab back. There we go. And then take my glue gun and just put in some glue here. And put that down. I don't have my heat fingers. Here are my heat fingers. I love these things. And just kind of push it down. And you can either use white craft glue or hot glue gun. I like the hot glue gun the best. But it depends on what I'm working on, what flowers and project like that. So with this file, just so you know, I designed it so that all the petals are different, right? I have these flowers in my backyard. They're one of my favorites, and they carry into the fall. That's one of the reasons I love them. They're like a true perfect flower that goes from spring till fall. And so it's probably hard to tell in this video, but there is every little top of the flower petal. I think I designed 6 different shapes. So what I did was I took one of the flowers from my garden area and I brought it inside, and I designed this pattern based off of a real Verbera daisy plant. Anyway, so you just want to kind of pull these back and just fluff out your flower however you want. Anyway, I don't want to take the time and waste your time right now with this, but this is exactly, you saw how quickly that went with this type of flower. So now let's try it on this one, right? So this is double the weight of a 65-pound cardstock, okay? And plus I glued it, right? So it's got some stiffness to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in just like I did the other one, just put it in that slit there. So I got it here in the slit. And now because this one's a little stiffer, I'm going to kind of give it a helping hand by pressing this in a little bit, the end. I'm going to try to roll it. Honestly, I don't think this is going to work real well, but we'll see. I've tried it on the thicker papers. So we just gave it some help by turning that around on its own so it doesn't have to do it. And then let's just see how it goes. So I'm just going to push the button. And you can see I'm not putting any pressure here on this at all. It's trying, but as you can see, it doesn't have the strength. It'll spin it around, but it doesn't have the strength to spin tightly like we would want to for a flower. So let me just go ahead and manually do this a little bit by hand, just to kind of get it going and see, right? So all I'm doing is turning this around, getting through the thick part. Okay, so I did it a little bit, right? It's got a good roll going. Let's see if that helps. Let me get the handle out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to press the button again. And again, it's just not strong enough. The motor is not strong enough with that weight of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and keep spinning it by hand. Right, so I'm thinking that maybe if you were working on this type of a flower, even if you had to manually do this, especially if your right wrist or your your right or left wrist, whichever one you use typically. Okay, so now we're on the orange part, which is a single layer piece of cardstock, 65 pound, and I'm just going to push the button again, and as you can see, it's going to roll up super easily. And I did just accidentally let go of it, so it's going to be kind of a loose flower, but that's okay. That was just my bad. So you can see it wants to work really well on this flower. And you just bring this bottom part up like so, and then you just take it off. If it starts to stick, you just use your fingernail. All right, so I can take this flower, pull the tab back, and put my glue gun in here. Put my tab down and take my finger protector. I don't even know what to call these, but man, do I like them. I don't like burnt fingers. Okay? And then now you can take the outside and just kind of do what you want with the petals. Like that. So I hope this helps you decide on whether you want to get this or not. Like I said, for these type of flowers, any type of a lightweight project, this is perfect. I love it. I really, truly love this. For me and my situation, it's a lifesaver. I would suggest if you don't want the motor kind, or for the bigger flowers, like when I do these, I use this. If you want me to show you how to make one of these, I can. It might not look identical to this, but I can show you how to make one of these. But I also have the drill trick, which I've also used, and so keep that in mind. Leave me a comment down below if you want me to show you either how to make a homemade ergonomic quilling handle, or if you want me to show you how to use a regular drill to curl your heavier type flowers. So I hope this really helps. Remember to create with love and take care. Bye.